Okay, wow. Guys, I'm just going off right now. I'm going to do a quick video of this, but, you know, I was just at my job, my second job, and I didn't want to mention this on my vlog, but I was just at my second job, and I was dropping that 12-yard dumpster when I got word that the guy was watching TV and he was standing in front of the TV, so I walked over in front of him, and apparently there's been an explosion in New York City. Around 42nd Street in New York City. I don't know where that's at, but I think it's near Times Square. I'm not sure. But apparently the gentleman who, the terrorist that tried to make a self-made bomb, it didn't go off and he was injured. So it did go off, but he was injured. There was only one person injured in the whole thing. So there's no, you know, nobody was killed in this terrorist plot here. I mean, this is New York City, guys, and why it's come close to me is because I have an older brother that lives in New York. He's 1 year older than me, and he lives in New York, so I just got off the phone with him and called him, and I talked to him, and he didn't even know at the time, but he's getting the news right now, and he got off the phone with me to find out what had happened, because he's not working far from 42nd Street. He only works a few blocks away. So this is really tragic for New York City. I mean, think about it, man. Just 6 weeks ago, wasn't there a guy who was driving a U-Haul truck in Lower Manhattan and killed 8 people? That's devastating. I mean, they're hitting New York City almost. This has been twice this year, and then before that, am I right? But only one of the most deadliest acts in American history happened in 9/11. You know, 15-20 years ago, but it's seeming like, to me, being from Texas, and yeah, we've had our own problems with the officers being killed. The comparisons, you know what I mean? We had 7 officers lose their lives here last July, and it was devastating for the downtown area, you know, of Dallas. But now, when I compare downtown Dallas here to New York, it's no comparison. New York is huge compared to downtown Dallas, guys. But for something like this to happen in Dallas, I can only relate it to what's happening in New York City. You know, I worked in Dallas downtown at the time of the attacks of the 7 officers that were killed, and it was devastating. Well, guys, just 6.5 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, there was 8 people killed in Lower Manhattan when that terrorist exploded himself in that U-Haul truck. And now another terrorist 6 weeks later tries to kill more people in the subway station. They were saying were 200,000 people, if you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but about 200,000 people ride the subways on a daily basis in New York. And it just happened again. You know, an explosion went off, but only one person was injured, and it happened to be the terrorist, and he's in custody right now. So that's a great deal for the New York Police Department. You know, and I don't want to mention this, but I'm going to open my mouth about this, okay, guys? And how it relates back to me is really simple. If y'all watch my cardboard video that I did a few days ago, I do a lot of cardboard videos, and a lot of people moving here to Texas, and to believe it or not, guys, a lot of people that move from Texas move from 2 big cities, and it's usually, I mean, from 2 big states, and that's usually California, and the second one is always Texas. And I don't know if we're going to see an influx of people come to move into New York, coming from New York to Texas. I don't see if we're going to see an influx of people coming from that state to here. But I'll be honest with you, when the September 11 attacks happened, we saw an influx of people move here. We've seen an influx of people happen when Houston got flooded and come here. You know, when Louisiana got flooded and the piers went down, a lot of people moved here. A lot of people are moving to Texas because our living here is really low. I mean, the cost of living is like crazy, ridiculously low here. The cost of things here in Texas are very low. I move a lot of people all the time, come down here, and they have boxes because they just moved here from 2 big states, and it's usually California and New York. So it's kind of disappointing to me to hear that this just happened in New York again, you know. And what is the world coming to? Honestly, what is it coming to where a person who allows a terrorist to just strap on bombs and go to Times Square and try to, or the subway station on 42nd Street and try to kill more people? I mean, you know, and I might be out of line for saying this, but Trump wants to stop, you know, any people from the Saudis or, you know, Iraq area, that area, you know, the Middle Eastern area to come to the United States. And you got to think about it. Was he wrong when he said that, or was he, do we support him on that, or do we not support him? I mean, who was he trying to protect? Was he trying to protect us from things like this happening? Because I can imagine his next tweet that Trump sends out is, "I told you so. Stop anyone from the Middle East coming over to the United States." You know, I could just imagine that. And it's was he wrong for saying that? I have no idea. You know, I don't support Trump and I don't hate Trump, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'm kind of in the middle, right? I feel bad for New York City. This has happened twice in the last 2 months to New York City, and it's disappointing to hear that, guys. My brother lives in New York, and it hits me close because I call him every time it happens. We're pretty close brothers too, so you know, I'm glad that it doesn't happen in Texas like that, guys. You know, Texas, you know, the difference is that Texas people and California people are totally different. Texas people and New York people are really two different worlds. So you're talking about two different people. You know, you know, when you say hi to someone in Texas, they say hi back to you. When you say hi to somebody in New York, they look at you and they turn around and they're like, you talking to me? You know, so you're gonna get two sides of the story, no matter what. We're totally two different people. I always see people coming into the state of Texas and they always say, why are we so nice? Well, we're not nice. We're Texans. That's what it's called. So I'm Texas pride, but I also will tell you, I'm New York pride. You know, go for the people in New York. And it's just a dark time in American history. Again, another dark time. Nobody was injured, but you know what this means? Because I've heard a rumor that the terrorists have something going for Christmas. That they want to explode something during Christmas time at Times Square. You know, I'm just repeating what I heard. You know, it's called the Christmas terror attack, that they're going to kill people during Christmas time up in New York, Times Square. So this is a total surprise to me, guys. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that up because it was weird. I was dropping off that dumpster, the 12-yard dumpster at my customer's property, and he was looking at the TV, and I peeked over his shoulder, and I'm over there and I'm like, what is going on with this world? I mean, things have changed, guys. A lot of things have changed. It's really disappointing. So guys, I hope everybody in New York's fine, and pray to God my brother's fine too. And again, I'll talk to y'all later, man. Bye bye.